Have you ever asked yourself, how can I avoid procrastination in my real estate investing business? You come to the right place. Hi, this is Don Thornton. I'm known as Don the Short Sale Guy. I'm going to talk to you about how I've been able to combat procrastination. And let me tell you what, I'm a procrastinator holic. Okay, I have really had to learn this. So this is coming straight from my own experience. I'm going to go over why we procrastinate, why our subconscious is going to fight us to the death before we change, why for me desperation was the only way I could break through, and finally, some proactive tips about how I am able to get around this and get myself back on track by using charts and just doing something at least every day. So let's get into it. So why do we procrastinate, right? I mean, I tell you, I I told myself so many times, that well, I work well under pressure, and yeah, I can just go for it, and I can really just wait like a day or two before whatever. In school, that was a big deal. I mean, I always wrote my papers the night before, sometimes the morning of, and I kind of like felt like I was kind of cool. It's like I pulled through again, pulled a rabbit out of my hat. It's like that was fine, but for a lot of people, for a lot of us out there that are used to a 9 to 5 job, and we're used to having a boss, and someone hanging over, looking over our shoulder, that was the motivation that we needed. But listen, there's no boss here in real estate investing. You're out, it's you against the world, and you have to learn how to be your boss and treat this like a business. So that's the one thing I would say, that's one of the biggest challenges that I've seen in people trying to do any kind of home-based business, but especially real estate investing, because we get so much rejection. If you're prospecting, of course, if you're not prospecting, there's no rejection, but you're not going to get any houses that way either. So that's kind of the why, is that um, and why is our subconscious, why is it our biggest enemy in this? And I'll tell you why. Because we as human beings want to play it safe. We like our comfort zone. We don't like to get out of our comfort zone. When we take steps to do something new, to do change, we don't like it. And there's like, it's this fear comes in, and there's resistance. It's just almost diabolical in a sense, that we're fighting against ourselves here. And I mean, I think back to Wayne's World, where uh Garth was in a conversation with Rob Lowe about something, and how they can change their group or whatever, and Garth goes, "We fear change." you know that's true. We fear change. Change can be one of the biggest fears we have. I mean, it's not up there with fear of public speaking, but it's pretty high. So how do we cope with that? We don't want to come out and say, "I'm not going to do it," right? Because we want it. There's a part of us that really wants it, but there's also the part of us that will say, "Okay, I don't want, I'm going to sabotage myself. I'm going to say, I'll do it tomorrow." Or my biggest favorite is, "I'll do it Monday." It's always Monday. You got to start on Monday. yeah. Um, I spent 3 weeks in December putting off starting my diet and getting back to losing the weight that I gained over the last, like I spent 4 to 5 months, because I kept saying, "Well, I'll just wait till Monday." And it was like, "Well, let me get Christmas out of the way." And it's like, "Well, I might as well wait till New Year's." You're always putting stuff off. You're kicking the can down the road. And that's a recipe for no progress. And in my experience, desperation has always been the way to motivate myself. And sometimes life has given me desperate times, and that has helped me to break through, especially when you're just starting, especially when I mean, now I can play games with myself. I know how to do it, right? But back then, when I was trying to become a real estate investor, and it took me 2 years to finally get my first closing, I'll tell you something. I mean, I wanted it so bad. The desperation that I had to do this, and it's like the alcoholics say, in recovery, they say that, you will stay in where you're at until the pain of staying where you're at is more than making drastic changes in your life, right? So we'll stay where we're comfortable until it's no longer comfortable. For me, some of you know my story. but I was working in Russia for a US company, and then we were on the brink of getting a huge contract to rehabilitate about 18 kilometers worth of water pipes. It was millions of dollars. I would have made close to $1 million in commissions. And then just like that, the American, my company, my own company, stabbed me in the back and said, "Oh, we don't want to do it. What if it doesn't work? We don't want the risk." And they just pulled everything out, right? Pulled the rug out from under us. After we had the contract done, we had our pilot project. We did, like I don't know, maybe half a mile worth of rehab on it. It was great. Everybody loved it. It's like, boom. Well, we'll see you later. And so it's like I was stuck, and all of a sudden all my dreams crumbled, and I had no money, and there was no more. I couldn't stay in Russia with my family in Moscow, and so I had to come back to America. I didn't see him for 2 years until I broke through and started making money, and so I knew that, and I had a young son. I knew I would never see my family unless I started making real money. When I mean real money, I mean like five figures a month minimum to be able to afford everything. And so what I did, and I knew that real estate investing was what I wanted to do. I knew that short sales were what I wanted to do. And so I knew that I needed to get in touch with people in foreclosure. I didn't have money for skip traces. I did have gas cards. So I told myself, okay, I have to go in 4 counties. I have to hit every single foreclosure house in 4 counties, knock on the door and offer to buy their house. And I didn't want to do it. I was terrified to do it. So what I had to do was I had to take a picture. I printed out a picture my wife had sent me of my son, and I put it on my dashboard of my car. And every time I wanted to quit, I kept looking at that picture, and it reminded me, you know what, I'll finish my list. I'll finish my list. I'll finish my list. And that really motivated me to make the changes that I needed to do to break through. And so there was no more excuses. I could not say, "Oh, well, I'll do it Monday." No, I had to do it every single day. And so that, in some ways, desperation can be a very good thing. Now, look, I'm not desperate now, but I tell you what, I kept telling myself, you know what, I've got stage 3 kidney disease, and if I stand the way I am, if I don't lose this weight, if I don't stop drinking soda, then I'm going to be on dialysis. And just visualizing the worst case scenario if I don't take action, that was a motivating thing for me. So that works for me. Take what you like and leave the rest, but that works for me. Now, as far as tools that I use to be able to make sure that I'm on track and I'm consistent with my daily tasks that I need in my prospecting and follow up, I'm a big chart guy. Okay. I'm a huge chart guy. And, I'll give you an example here. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you my weight loss chart. And you can see here how every day I chart where I'm at. So, obviously, I hate when this happens, when I have, I have one that goes up, even though I know it's water weight or whatever, but it motivates me because I do not want to get up in the morning to weigh myself and see it come up like 3 pounds or 2 pounds because I decided to binge. I decided to go to Taco Bell or decided to buy a 2 liter Coke, or actually not Coke, it'd be Mountain Dew or root beer, and then just swig and buy cookies, and I can go off because I'm definitely I'm definitely an overeater. So anyway, this is what I do. So I'm not going to show it to you, but I also have a chart that I do for my daily tasks. I know that I need to accomplish to be able to reach the goals that I want, and so I make sure that every day I am checking off what I have to do that day. And I really hate to look at that chart and see that I haven't done something. So for me, that's what I do. And if I get a little bit lazy, if I get a little bit tired because I've been having, blood pressure, headaches and migraines and so forth, my biggest thing is I try to do one thing. If for whatever reason I know it's one of those days where I'm not going to be at my full speed and full determination, I thought to myself, you know what, at least do one thing. And that keeps me going because a body at rest stays at rest. A body in motion stays in motion. So when in doubt, do something. If you can't do it perfectly, if you can't check all the boxes off, check something off. We're all imperfect beings, and you can't beat yourself up if you don't do it. The only thing I beat yourself up for is you quit and don't do anything. All right, so that's my daily Dohn for today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helps you in your career. And I wish you the best. Thanks.